Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Danny Podcast number 12. We are 13 days into June, the 6th month out of 12, chapter 6, if that's how you want to look at it. I've been busy, let me tell you, and I'm so excited to talk about it in this podcast. It's just been one of those like crazy fortnights where I went into this morning and I thought, I've got like a topic here. No. You start brainstorming and actually thinking about what you want to discuss, and it just goes out the window. So let's get into it. We are day 13 of the Baby Brown Pilates 28-day challenge. I can say everything feels different. I feel stronger. I have a handful of friends that are doing it with me, and we are all doing so well. Let me tell you, if you guys have hopped on that Pilates bandwagon, massive round of applause. We are almost halfway through. Maybe we are halfway through if it's 28 days. No, I don't know. Maths has gone out the window right now. But no, feeling stronger, leaner. I am so impressed. I definitely think once it's over, I will certainly continue it in some sort of way. I even started incorporating equipment like Pilates rings, and I even went into the whole like Apple Plus fitness app, and when I got my new iPhone, I got heaps of free stuff for like 3 months, just until August. So I've started tapping into using Apple Fitness, and that's been a world of its own. Yesterday morning, they introduced this move in the Pilates world called the Beast. Yeah, like I couldn't get off the toilet this morning and I couldn't get out of my bed. I was like, oh my God, my whole core is just ruined. And I have a friend who's very much the same. She's probably like 2 or 3 classes behind just because of like weekend antics and whatever. But she's the same. I can't do more than 2 in one sitting because like I just die. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so impressed with how everyone's going. And I definitely feel so much better for like just, I don't know, applying myself to it. That's the main thing. If at the end of the day, you just got to feel like, good. And if you don't like it, don't keep doing it. For some reason, Pilates and me are getting along at the moment, so we'll keep up the Pilates thing. And yeah, if everyone else is doing it, massive kudos to you from Danny Dot. So, what a weekend. Let me tell you, I'm going to get roasted for this. So being the 1st of June, I rejigged my budget, and I was super excited about it. I was thinking, yes, we're going to, rejig the numbers, make sure that everything's on track, got some massive goals coming up. And, so what happened was I got paid on the 7th of June. And I was so excited. I told my boss, I said, yep, we've got some sub accounts. We've got money that's just going to, go from my main account into all my subs, which is the cruise, some travel, some spending money. I've got my car full of petrol. I've got food in the fridge. Everything's fine. I'm going to allow myself $250 for entertainment. And the entertainment is just, a couple of drinks on the weekend, going out, eating, that kind of thing. It's not, everything else is paid for. This was on like the Friday. I told my boss that. Roll through to Monday. Oh my God. I failed. I came to the start of the Monday and I had $11 in my bank account, and Mum roasted me for it. Oh my gosh. I was like, Susan, come on. But at the end of it, she said, you're allowed to make mistakes. And it's not a mistake. I just had a massive weekend and I didn't plan for it. And I just had so much fun. So absolutely no regrets. Let me tell you, I never have regrets when it comes to spending money. I'm like a wrecking ball. And the worst part about it is that like I definitely am on track to, save for the deposit for a section or build. Like I had a discussion with my really fabulous mortgage broker who is a family friend, and like I actually got excited about the fact that I could potentially build a house. I don't need to just buy a house. There's a lot of incentives in New Zealand to build. And I walked away from this, catch up, and I thought, yeah, I'm doing it. So I rejigged the budget, and then I still got like 10 days till payday. And yeah, so whoops. But it's fine. Like, I still have money. At the end of the day, I overcompensated, okay? I put more than I should have into my savings of everything because I was like, it's fine. No one's invited me to anything. I don't have anything to go to. I'm just going to like mooch at home, eat the food that's in the fridge and drink what's in the garage. No, the neighbour on Friday decided to invite us down to the Five Stags for a catch-up drink. And I was like, yes, we want to leave the house on a Friday and detach from our work-life environment. I work from home. So I went toddling down. I was so excited. And then, I don't know, I ended up back at home at like 10:30, but then I toddled across the road to the neighbour's house in my dressing gown and my slippers. And all of a sudden we were doing shots of pink gin and Malibu, and I was eating Best Foods mayo mixed with chutney on a cracker, which now I can't get out of my head because did I think it was delicious because I was drunk? I don't know, but I just, that night went out the window and I woke up Saturday and I was like, far out. What did I spend? It's fine. And then on Saturday at 2:00, I had to be down at the rugby grounds because the boys were playing my favourite team, Omacau. I don't know if it's the fact that it's my favourite team or the day that we actually went to Omacau, which you guys already know about. I talked about it on like podcast number 7. I just had such a good day with my girlfriends down there. It just, I don't know. I loved it. And so when I went to go watch them play, I was feeling a little bit dusty. And the worst part, well, it's not the worst part, but in Danny Dot's world, it's a bit scary. I didn't go with anyone to the rugby. I actually left the house at 2:00 on the Saturday by myself. And I was just like, it's fine. I'm going to go to the rugby, find a friend, stand there and just watch the boys. It'll be fine. And I was a little bit nervous, like, I'm not going to lie. I hate that kind of shit when you don't have that one person that you can just, like, bounce jokes off or have some support. And so I actually almost didn't go. I was like, I'm hungover. I don't need this stress right now. But I went and I caught up with my best mate's parents and it was just, like, a really great, couple of hours. But it was freezing cold. I had 50 million layers on, and I actually couldn't bend over to pick up my drink off the ground because I was wearing 2 pairs of thermals under my jeans, and I thought, my God, the button on my jeans is going to burst off at this rate. It's disgusting. But so I put my 3 drinks in my jacket pockets, zipped my jacket up, so all you could see was the lids of the bottles, and I looked like a friggin' drink dispenser, quite frankly. Everyone was just like, Danny, what are you doing? I didn't crack a drink until the 60th minute, and the way that I saw it, I was like, okay, so I've got 3 drinks I can get through in like 20, 25 minutes, it's all good, and I'll get to the rugby rooms, and then that little like buzz is happening, like, so you're feeling like you can conquer anything. You don't care if there's no one there that you know. You're just going to hang out. Why did I do this? I should have gone home. So the goats won. It was all exciting. We went into the rugby rooms as usual. I didn't know anyone. The tables have moved. I don't know if my Cromwell people know this, but the tables in the rugby rooms have been changed, and that threw me off. I was like, it's a sign. I've got to go home again. So I got a beer and I sat down with some random guys. I don't know why I do this. I just, who cares? At the end of the day, the team know that I love and care about them. I'm like this awkward friggin' supporter. But they eventually came into the rugby rooms. We were having a bit of a yarn and it was so cool. And then all of a sudden I ended up back at the Five Stags because Crusaders were versing Fiji and they had... Fiji Airways had put on 3 chartered flights from Fiji to Christchurch to let like 1,000 Fijian people support their team in New Zealand. And I was like, heck yes, I am 100% here for that. That's beautiful. Of course I will. So went and watched that. And of course, the Fiji community in Cromwell is huge. And my friend who I was with, I did find a friend, yes. He was saying that there was about 8 carloads that went from Arrowtown, Queenstown, Cromwell and Wanaka full to the brim. And you can imagine like these minibuses of like 8+ people per vehicle going up to Christchurch. So it was quite fun looking around the crowd, and actually he was, oh, I know that person, I know that person. Oh, he knows everyone, so it's fine. And then, just drinking a couple of beers, having some pizza. And that's when I messaged my mum and I was like, it's cool. Like, I'm going to leave my car here and then I'll go down to the Vic, catch the coach home. It'll be fine. So lo and behold, I get to the Vic and I'm outraged. When am I ever going to be at that pub and there's like not some strange drama? And look, they're lucky they left before I got there, but there was a guy who got arrested for fondling himself at the pokey machines. And let me tell you, when I told Susan this, she was like, yep, Danielle, that's disgusting. You're not going back there. Can you imagine if I walked in and he's sitting there playing with his joystick at the pokey machines? Like, I don't go in the pokies anyway. I've done my stints in Las Vegas. I don't need to go to some little hick town friggin' pokey room. But yeah, so there was this big rigmarole that, old mate was on the security cameras fondling himself. And I was a little bit drunk, so I was probably a little bit lippy about it. Like, oh, that's disgusting. What was wrong with people? And actually, he was from Christchurch. He'd come down. He was like a serial fondler. It's disgusting. So yeah, I stayed at the Vic until close. Oh, so annoying. How does that happen? The thing is that I've made a friend and he is beautiful. He is this little up-and-coming DJ and I can't. He's so fun. And so there's something in my throat. Sorry. He came up to me and he showed me on his phone his like sets that he's been doing all around New Zealand. And like when you have someone that has a hobby in your life and you just want to encourage and support and like just, go through the motions of being successful. Oh, I'm the biggest hype girl for you. Whatever it is, I don't care. But the fact is that this is what he does. And I thought, oh, I'm supporting this. So I'm sitting on this bookcase at the back of the Vic and he's like signaling to me, record this. And I'm just like, mate, I don't even know where my camera button is right now. Like, I'm just living my best life. Well, it turns out the next day I actually sent him a whole bunch of like videos and he was like, what were you filming? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I thought I was filming you. But when the smoke machine goes off and everyone, you can't see anyone. Yeah, you couldn't see him. That's for sure. You couldn't make out that he was the DJ. But look, I am all for his hobby and he is going to be very successful one day. He is just a real awesome dude. And that was the end of my night. All of a sudden I was back home at 2:30. So I went out at 2 and came home at 2. And Susan got up the next morning and she was like, Danielle, you said you were coming home. I made tea for you. And I was like, yeah, well, I should have come home. I had the guts to stay out, so I stayed out, and I never stay out by myself. I'm like one of those, I love all my friends around me kind of people. But everyone was busy, so I did that on my own, which just goes to show, like, if you get out of your head about things, you actually will enjoy yourself because who knows who you'll know. And I don't know. I took away from it that I had a lot of people in my life that I didn't really know that I could depend on when times were a bit funny, when I didn't know where my friends, they had their own stuff on this past weekend. So all in all, the budget went out the window. We went to Queenstown on Sunday to my brother's terrible flatmate. She is a wrecking ball. I think I'm allowed to talk about it actually. She stole 3 people's credit cards that she, like Tinder dates. She flogged their credit cards when she left and then she went on a shopping spree. So she's been arrested for all 3 of them. Like it's actually an actual conviction. And she gets sentenced on the 19th of June. But maybe 2 weeks ago, Mum went over to Queenstown and sat her down and was like, you've got to leave. This is not okay, rah, rah. So she did actually leave, but she trashed the microwave and the toaster on her way out. And so I told Mum that I had $11 in my bank account after my big, stupid, rampaging weekend. And we went to Kmart, and it just so happened that the cheapest toaster at Kmart was $11. And I said, ring Tom, tell him that I'm going to shout him a toaster. And she's like, you can't shout him a toaster. If you do that, you got no money for the rest of the fortnight. And I was like, oh, he can reimburse me. That's not the case. Mum has his EFTPOS card. It's fine. So we went shopping and we got him some really great toaster and microwave combo thing. And while we were there and, looking around for all these types of electronics, we weren't in Kmart the whole time. I sort of thought about it and I was like, oh, you know what? I could actually do with a new mattress because my IKEA bed, which is great, it's Swedish, whatever. I don't think that the mattress is as like, I don't know. I've had it for like 5+ years and I just feel like my mattress is falling to shit. And it's okay because it's not like a sleepyhead bed. It's just like an IKEA mattress in a frame. And so I said to Mum, I'm going to go buy a mattress. How? You've got $11. Oh, for God's sake, Susan. But yeah, so we went into this sleepyhead, I don't even know what it was, and I was lying down on some mattresses just to test them out and rah-de-rah. They have like anything from $800 all the way up to $10,000. The weirdest thing is that a $10,000 mattress doesn't even fit me as great as a $800 mattress. I was genuinely surprised at the difference of like quality, and they have these like I think I need like a firm mattress. Like I don't want to roll over and it's just me in the bed, but like if there was two people like, watching Netflix or whatever, you'd roll into someone. And I feel like the $10,000 mattress was built to, she showed me this massive diagram where the springs are like sewn in individually. And I was just thinking, oh, it's too much technology. So I ended up purchasing the $800 mattress. Far out. And my brother is going to put it on our high-ab crane truck that we co-own together and bring it over to Cromwell at some stage. He's going to pick it up. But it was so random. Mum was like, what the hell, Danielle? So, but the thing is that you need a good sleep. You need to have like a comfortable mattress. Like you need to have that sort of support when you sleep, because lately I've been getting up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that I'm doing a lot and like being in this cocoon mode. I've like upped everything. I'm really like I'm so happy right now. I'm in such a good, happy, calm space. My bed, I think, is ruining things. So, yeah, I brought a bloody mattress and I'm not sad about it. But while we were there, we also went fridge shopping. And I don't know about you guys, but if you haven't seen the technology that's happening in fridges right now, that's in its world of its own. So I got really excited about double door fridges and ice buckets and everything else. But turns out we actually had to go home and actually measure the space that we have for a fridge, because apparently if I was to get a double door fridge, Susan went crazy and she was like, oh, Danielle, you're going to have to knock out the wine stacker thing if you're going to put the fridge there, because we need to like demo the kitchen a little bit. And I'm like, oh, I'm not in the mindset to start eliminating parts of our kitchen for a fridge. But in Harvey Norman in Frankton, there was like 60 fridges to choose from. I was having a bloody field day. Everything from like double doors to touch screens to, tap and you can see what's inside the fridge. It was so cool. And I think my fridge is like 10 years old my fridge is from Australia. I brought it back with me. Yeah, it's a decent fridge, but I think it should just be bigger. And I'm one of those people where I think the fridge should be on top of the freezer. So what I'm really interested in is the double door fridge with the ice machine on the door, but also that drawer underneath that comes out before the freezer that you can put your cans and RTDs and bottles of wine in, because we are an entertaining house. Like me and Mum, we do have lots of drinks. We have heaps of people over. And I just think it would be so much better than to look down the back of the fridge to see what's like fallen in the veggie crisper, because the fridge we have now, the fridge is on the bottom and the freezer is on the top. So we didn't buy a fridge, but we looked at them and I was very excited. It's one of those, and then I thought about it and I was like, hey, wait on. No, I'm not going to go halves with you on a fridge if I'm actually going to move out and buy a section and build a house in, the coming weeks, if not years. So yeah, Susan went to town on thinking that, she'd have her own bloody Mac Daddy fridge and I'd just have to buy another one. No. So yeah, we did a fair bit of shopping over the weekend, but well, it's okay. It's all, valid and everything else. The other thing is that I wanted to touch on, I took Mum out to Gibson Tavern because I feel like every time I bring up the mention of First Table, people don't know what it is. And it's such a cool concept. It's actually between New Zealand and Australia. And it's where you pay, there's a website, firsttable.co.nz or firsttable.com.au, where you can purchase the first breakfast, lunch, or dinner table at certain restaurants for $5 or $10, and then you pay half price food. There are different rules depending on the restaurant. You can pay, some places want you to have like 2 drinks minimum per table or whatever. And some of them don't like you taking takeaways, so you can't overeat. So I downloaded the app. It is an app. I think it's in the Apple Store at the moment. And I saw it come up for Gibson Tavern. And I thought, oh my God, me and Mum literally drive past there like twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays when we go and see Tom Tom. And like she doesn't really get to go in there because we just go straight, Queenstown to home to Queenstown. So I was like, listen, let's just stop and take a minute and actually go and enjoy ourselves. We'll have lunch. It'll be fine. Well, no. The day that we went, it was pouring with rain. It was like Baltically cold. And attached to the First Table in Gibson Valley is the tasting room, which I think it's called like, I don't even know, G&T tasting, or I don't know. This isn't like a sponsored thing or anything. I'm just putting this out there that, this is what you can do and it's definitely worth doing. But it was 11 a.m. and here's me sitting at Gibson Tavern on a Sunday drinking a glass of rosé called Blushing Willie. So the worst part is that my mum was drinking Pinot Gris, which is the Windy Hole. So the wine was called Windy Hole. And I just couldn't. Every time the waiter came past and she was like, a Windy Hole, please. I was like, Susan, stop it. Jesus. But I had the fish of the day, which was snapper. And I actually thought he was going to say blue cod. So I was like, what the heck? I had never had snapper. And so I was genuinely impressed. Mum had the winter salad, add chicken because, got to have your protein. And I would rate it like 9 out of 10. It was bloody awesome. The only part is that the tasting room is next door. Like I had to run down in the rain, pay for my tasting tray, and then he ran it back up to me. And so the tasting trays start at $16 right up to $30, and you've got everything from the Gibson Tavern wines, which there's 4 of them, Rosé, Sauv Blanc, Pinot Gris, and Pinot Noir. The Pinot Noir was stunning. A bottle of that was $55, and I was like, if I, didn't have a budget, I'd buy a bottle. And you got your gins from Arrowtown. I think is it Rafters or Rifters or something? The team at Arthur's Point, Broken Heart Gin, they are there in the tasting room, and the ginger beer. So it's quite strong ginger beer. It puts hairs on your chest, that stuff. But if you have flu symptoms and then you have a can of ginger beer, it clears that shit right up. So there's a tasting of the ginger beer as well, there's 2 cans. It's quite cool. I love all that kind of stuff. And Mum got so excited. She's, can I have another glass of Windy Hole while she has a tasting tray? I was like, Susan, who's driving? But at the end of it, obviously we had to try and beat the snow back to Cromwell because this front came in. And if you're in Gibson Valley, it's stunning. It's very isolated. So as we left the restaurant, just, feeling a bit flushed, I was definitely having fun. We got back to Cromwell and I was like, we're racing the snow. But just recently on that same app, my favourite restaurant, Number 5 Church Lane, is back. And I definitely wanted to touch on this because I've had some fabulous memories at that place. It stems right back like 6, 7, 8 years ago where my flatmate used to date one of the bartenders in there. And I used to just toddle along and pick her up or go in there and, have a couple of drinks with them all. And when that popped up that they were doing a first table, I looked at the menu and I was so excited. They have a crayfish sandwich and there's two sizes. So $13 for a half, 26 for a whole, which I don't even know how big they are. Don't quote me. I haven't been yet. But I told Mum and she burst out laughing and she knows exactly why. It's because when my friends were over from Australia, there was about 7 of us one night. We went into the first table and I think it was like $700 bill. I mean, back then, first table, number 5 was only doing street Asian food. So I don't even know what we ate. Little plates as usual, little, tappers and things like that. But the bartender, he was so impressed. I think we ate everything on the menu. He put a bottle of Cafe Patron tequila on the middle of the table to shout us to say thank you, which was so kind. I don't even know how I walked out of that restaurant that night, but shit, I had fun. And back when my flatmate was working at Rata, well, that's another restaurant in Queenstown. One night she was there and she says, come in, I'm just finishing up and we'll go over to number 5 for a drink with her partner. I said, yeah, cool, coming in now. I met her at Rata. She brings over a glass of red wine and the cheese trolley. And if you ever go to Rata, definitely stay for the after, your dining experience for the cheese trolley. I don't know if it's still as strict as it was, but it was a thing that you had after your dinner. And you can buy cheeses off the trolley, which is so fun. But also they do a really great goat cheese profiterole. It's what they're known for, I think. But I don't know. I don't really ever have a favorite food. So to me, I'm just like, what's the hype? But I get it. Like, it's delicious. But I'm like, what? It's like goat cheese and a weird pastry. I don't know. So we toddle on over to number 5 and sitting at the bar, I kid you not, I'm drinking this weird cocktail, which I was only thinking about yesterday. Don't know why. Basically, they have this device. Don't know if they still have it, but it'd be weird if they didn't, where it's like 2 squares of metal that come down they come down onto each other. And you can put a cube of ice in between them and all of a sudden it melts down into a sphere of ice. And they put that sphere into a whiskey glass, poured over it some Rin Quin Quin, which I don't even know what that is. I was thinking about it and I'm thinking, was that a whiskey? It makes sense if it was a whiskey or a bourbon. And then they lit a orange peel rind on fire and popped that in the glass. And that's what I was drinking. And I'm thinking, I'm 36 now and I don't even drink like that anymore. Holy moly. I was definitely spoiled back then. And in walks Josh Emmett. And is he not the chef or the owner of Rata? Like, he's very famous in the culinary world. He's beautiful. He's a good looking guy. And I was on my best behaviour, obviously. But he's just, having his after work drinks. And I feel like number 5 is definitely one of those places where really, really wonderful people that love delicious food and drinks go. And I definitely think if you're going to get into this first table, go and get a dinner there and enjoy yourself because, I've even been upstairs to check out the accommodation because I think it's joint to, isn't it? Oh, maybe it's the Spire Hotel. There's 2 sisters that used to run it and I did get the opportunity a few times to go up there and they actually had a couple of the rooms for rent for $500 a week. And when I went flatting in Queenstown, I did think about it. I was like, I don't need to eat. I could definitely afford $500 rent to stay in one of these beautiful rooms. They had underfloor heating and a spa that looked out over the lake. It was beautiful. And I met an architect, a multi-million-dollar architect that he was just drinking at Bermuda one night. And he was staying there and I was like, the ones with the spas and the bedrooms and the underfloor heating and everything. He's like, yeah, do you want to come up? And I'm like, no, I'll get into trouble. That's what happens when you go to Bermuda. I don't even know why I was there. I have a lot of nights out where I'm like, I end up places, but I don't know why. That actual night we actually had face paint on and it was a welcome to winter party. Everyone was in ski onesies. I just don't understand. It blows my mind because if I think about it, it's a classy establishment and why was there a face painter there? And now we're 8 years later and I'm sitting here why was that there? Anyway, so that's my little tidbit on the first table experience. I recommend any time that you do it. I am a massive fan of Panna's. Panna's is just here in Cromwell. Beautiful, just across the, what do you call that? The gorge. You got to go across a bridge. It's scary. And if you've had a couple of drinks, it's really scary. And I think over summer, because it only just opened near the end of summer, just gone, people might fall off that bridge if they've had a couple. I'm concerned. I'm a concerned resident. But no, they are on first table and they do delicious pizza and calamari. So definitely rate that one as well. So I want to see all of my people getting on this first table app and having half price food and enjoying themselves. Please do. It's a lot of fun. So another thing I just wanted to sort of, I had a question the other day. What's my snack of the week? I made the Big Mac tacos that are on TikTok with the mince on the tortilla. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I don't know. There's something weird about it. You make it, the tortilla's hot, the mince is hot. I don't know. It's weird. I get it. Like, they taste delicious like Big Mac tacos do. But yeah, no, that's probably my snack of the week that I was like, don't want to do that again. Also, I got told off the other day because I added cheese and jam to a toastie. Don't come at me. I am part English. I've always had jam and cheese in a toastie. I would literally buy a bag of mozzarella cheese, put raspberry jam and cheese in 2 pieces of bread and put it in the sandwich press and make a toastie. Like, I would even put pepper on it. And Mum saw it the other day and she was like, holy shit, that is like the weirdest thing you've ever eaten and it's almost like a pregnancy food. What are you doing? And I'm like, it's cheese and it's sweet like jam stuff. I was actually using grape jam too, so it wasn't even raspberry jam. But yeah, don't knock it till you try it. It's definitely one of the things Danny Dot's a big fan of. The other thing is I had a really fun family member, loose on the family member, because quite frankly, I only have one cousin and I keep calling her my cousin, but she's not. I only have one. She's in Melbourne. But no, I had a cousin come through Cromwell last week and it was really fun. We actually got to catch up over a couple of wines. And lo and behold, I'll let you in on a secret. Don't hate me. I had to do it. She had Tinder and she was like, Danny, you've got to get back on the horse here. Like, that's really fun. I've never seen such international people in the one destination. I was like, give me your phone. And so I was looking at what was available. I was surprised. And I just wanted to touch on this whole Tinder thing because I think people are really shy. And post the pandemic, what we had in Cromwell, I am really actually surprised. So not only was she talking to people that I knew, but I was like, oh, what are you doing? I downloaded Tinder because she told me to, and I had a black box as my profile picture. I was scared. It was a fake profile. It was just to sort of see what was up. I was super nervous. I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I hate online dating. Rah. And let me tell you, as soon as I set it up, people were messaging me. People wanted to know more about me. I hadn't even finished my profile. I hadn't done anything. It was just a box. The name was Pandora. And it was kind of like a play on words, to be quite honest. I was being quite smart about it. And I was on it for about 40 hours. I just was so shocked at how different it was. I'd probably been on it 5 years prior. And yeah, it was really good. And I actually, so if I could be really honest, I deleted that. I stayed up till midnight on the Thursday, Friday night, and then I made my own profile. And I weaned through all the people that I knew and I got rid of everyone because there is this weird option where you can get rid of people you know. And I built myself a Tinder. So lo and behold, a couple of days went by and all of a sudden I was going on a drinks date and it was super fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. But let me tell you, if you're actually like considering it, what's actually in the area at the moment that is here for ski season, 100% rate it. Oh my goodness. The funniest questions, you get like the Tinder app actually preempts you to ask these certain questions. It's so fun. And guys are actually really creative because obviously I'm a female that's interested in men. So that was what I was given. I was changing the location, like distance from me. I was changing the age. When it gets first set up, I think it's a free-for-all. Like you have to amend all of that. But there was different sort of ages. Oh, for some reason, I've always attracted younger men. So there was a lot of that. But I don't know what this is, but I'm going to look into it, younger guys have the tagline slut for a sunset. And I don't know what it means, but I feel like everyone had it. And oh my goodness me. The other thing is that let me tell you, if you have a boyfriend, I'm telling you now as your girlfriend, he's on Tinder. There is so many people that I knew that have partners that are on Tinder. And I'm telling you now, it's not for friends. They are not looking for friends because when I was Pandora, they were asking me if I wanted to go for a drink. They didn't even know what I looked like. And how did they not know that I wasn't like catfishing and being fake? Like it could have been anyone. So yeah, there's that. But the thing is that I don't know. That was very unnerving, to be quite honest, seeing some very familiar faces that are in relationships on Tinder. And the other thing is that people can put pins and drop their locations in Queenstown and Cromwell, but not actually be here. Lo and behold, I found that out the hard way because my cousin is coming over and I found him and I was like, oh, what are you doing? Love him. But at what stage does it not just become a holiday, but you're actually like teeing up dates and stuff like a month before you get here? What are you doing? So yeah, that's a bit of a red flag for me if you're not in the country. I don't think that should be an option. But the date that I went on, like a 7 out of 10, easy, great chat. I thought, oh my God, I actually did that. I'm super proud of myself. But yeah, I just want to change that like stigma that Tinder's bad. It's not bad. It's fun. And you never know who's going to swipe on you. And guys are really creative in their profiles. Like they want to get to know you. I think everyone just wants to find love and it's so romantic and sweet. I'm here for it. I'm like, this is beautiful. So I just wanted to let you all know that that's what I've been up to. I'm being honest about it. And look, if I don't come to you and tell you that your partner's on Tinder, he's not on Tinder. But there is a lot of people that I know that have girlfriends. So yeah, it's a bit awkward, but we'll coast past that, I suppose. I have had heaps of questions and thanks on the This Works sleep spray that I talked about last time. That stuff is crack and it puts you to sleep and I love it. And even my best mate has gone and got some and that's wild to me because I don't think he listens to my recommendations, but he does. Everyone that got it, kudos to you. Have the best night's sleeps. I'm hearing such great stories out of it. I'm super excited for you. The wine of the week last Thursday, Mum had a bad day, so we popped her Mother's Day wine. I actually made a Etsy wine label for her, and she was like, I want to drink this. This is a beautiful bottle. And I was like, okay. So it was the Ruffino Prosecco Rosé. It is a like bubbly rosé, super light. The bottle is stunning. I give it definitely 9 out of 10. It was complemented really well by our sage and brown butter pasta that we had for tea that night. The house smelled delicious. We'd had a glass before we had dinner, but yeah, I definitely was like, oh, I'm going to tell my podcast people about that. That was stunning. And you can just get it from the supermarket. I just, got it from the supermarket, ripped the label off and put my fancy one on for my mum. All in all, it's been a really wild couple of weeks and 10 days. And the other thing is that I think I might start releasing my podcast weekly. There is this really great atmosphere and you're all making me feel so good and welcome and loved. So it kind of is giving me confidence and support to be more open. The thing is, I was only sort of not talking as much, like leaving big sort of gaps in between, is to let it level out as to how many people are listening and to let those people catch up. But if you are a podcast person and you want to enjoy the banter that's coming out of my mouth, it should be more frequent. And a very dear friend of me with me on Friday, she said, no, I keep going into Spotify and pressing refresh in the hopes that you've released another one. I am on social media, on Instagram, as I have been, coming out with ideas and dropping sound bites as to what's, coming on the next podcast and whatnot. So, save yourselves the hassle and just follow me on Instagram and see when I am dropping these podcasts so that you're not, stressed out as to, oh my gosh, I think I've missed one. The other thing is that people can't sometimes find the Spotify, so make sure you subscribe or you like to it, so there becomes that rotation that it keeps coming around. I just want everything to be easy. This isn't meant to be a hard thing. It's my hobby. It's something I'm really passionate about right now, and I'm really enjoying all the support and love, and just, it's still therapy. I feel like, I have these really great weekends, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of feedback about my budget blowout. I haven't even told my boss that I ended it on $11, but even driving back to Cromwell from Queenstown, I said to Mum, can you pull into New World? I want to get some potato gems for my dinner. And she's like, you got $11. And I'm like, yeah, I just want a $4 bag of potato gems to go with my cheeseburger. And she's like, get some coin out of the center console. Don't use that. Oh, I was like, Mom, I'm not living on the bones of my ass. I have money. I'm just trying to be tight about it. So yeah, this budget thing's wild. And I've never had a budget. Well, yes and no. I mean, we're 6 months in and I haven't bought anything from Shein. And I think, I've been doing these massive accomplishments quietly. So I'm super proud of everything this year. It's just, oh man, am I proud of myself. I need to save more money though. The girls want to go to Bali for New Year's and the flights are disgusting and I just don't know what to do because of course we all want to go, but I think I need a second job. Actually, if anyone knows anything in Cromwell that's manageable, after work or on the weekends, if I did something on the weekends, it would keep me out of trouble. Anyway, please go and enjoy the rest of your week. I have had a whirl of a time recording this, and please keep up the communication. I love it. Rock on with Pilates with Baby Brown or however you want to do it. Get your first table bookings in. Love that. I'm here for all the half-price food. And I will message you and, get a podcast out for next week. That's exciting. Take care. Keep warm. Bye.